Hey Minecrafters, today I'm going to show you guys my sugarcane farm. This is actually the second time I'm recording this video because first time I had the music way too loud and it was pretty annoying, so I'm recording it again. Here it is. I've only made it 2 sections, but you could continue it on I guess as long as you want it. There is a limit to how far redstone and other things will go before the game doesn't really let it go infinitely, but you can make it pretty freaking long, I think, if you wanted to. I've only made it 2 sections long. They're modules, if you will. They start right there, and the module ends right there, and then it repeats. So I've made 2 sections. The way that it works, first off, you have the clock circuit. This is basically the 5 clock circuit you find online everywhere, but I've made it with 13 inverters instead of 5. And the only other difference is that between every inverter I put a repeater with 4 ticks of delay. And the reason there's 4 ticks of delay is because this right here is where the sugarcane will flow from this right here. Uh-oh, I got pushed. It'll flow from this trough right there under this, and this will push up, and the items will keep flowing. So this water right here is not flowing all the time, so the reason I slowed it down is because I wanted the items to travel as far as possible before the water shut off again. I could make it longer. You could make it more than 13 and have the items flow all the way, and if you'll notice, they don't quite flow all the way. Let me put some items in there. And I think they stop like right about here. But you could make it longer and have it where it flows all the way to the next water source block if you like. Yes, that's where they stop. But it doesn't really matter because the way I use this is I just sit here at the collection area, which I put right here because again put this right here because I only have 2 sections. At the end of it somewhere you would put your collection area. Let me fix that. But so like I said, I slowed it down a little bit so that the water would get further if you just do the normal clock without the delayed repeaters in them. Actually, this one should have a delay. It would be faster and the water would not travel as far, so the items may stop there. So I put 13 clocks instead of 5. So there's the clock circuit. The buttons here, if you go in the nether, the clock stops. There's other situations where the clock will stop. The clock won't stop while you're here, though. It should work perfectly fine. So if you come to your farm and the clock is not running, it's just staying in one state and it doesn't flip back and forth, you don't hear the pistons going, you'll hit the button over the signal that is turned off. So if this one's turned off when it stopped, you'd hit the button here. If that one's turned off, you hit the button there. Out of the clock, I run the signal here, up this, and it just goes right here and powers all of these. This is 7 pistons right here, 7 for each section. And that is the circuit for breaking the sugarcane. The circuit for lifting the items is simple as well. It's that same clock. I could use a different clock. I could have 1 clock speed for the items that get lifted up and 1 clock speed for the pistons that break the sugarcane, but it doesn't really matter. They just need to toggle back and forth. So I put them on the same one. It's simple as well. The only thing to note is that the bottom piston, which is right after that repeater right there, the bottom piston that's facing up needs 4 ticks of delay on it because it needs to retract and extend after this one does. So I delayed a little bit because if you don't do that, the items will get pressed up against the bottom of this piston and kind of get stuck, and they won't always flow. So just make sure you put a repeater, a delayed repeater, I use 4 ticks. I'm not sure if you can go less, but that works. Beyond that, you just take the signal up to the next piston, and this one needs an inverter because when this one is extended, that one just needs to be retracted, and when that one is extended, this one should be retracted. And that is the circuit as far as circuit goes. I just repeat that. I send the signal back down to the next module, repeat the same thing over and over again. So that is the circuitry for as far as redstone is concerned. To build this, this is the lowest level you have to build anything. This is the floor of it. The clock is on the floor, and these wires are on the floor. There's nothing particularly special on this next level. The next level is where I put my lights to make sure they grow faster, and the blocks that you put the sugarcane on, and you put the sugarcane obviously one block above that, and one block above that you put your pistons right here, and the blocks that power them, and also the backstop. This backstop is important because the items, if you don't put it here, the items may like get stuck. You know, say you had it like this, the items may get stuck here. You don't want that. You want the items to flow into the water, so you put a little backstop here to prevent them from doing that. And also have a little side stop right here because they don't just always get pressed off directly forward. Sometimes they go off at an angle, left or right. Just looks like it's random. Uh-oh, I hit the wrong one. It's all right though. So you put those little stops there to make sure that it doesn't mess things up. Oh, I gotta get out of here. All right, there we go. And so yeah, so you put the side stops there, side stops here. Now on this side, you don't need a side stop on this right here because to the left or right, however you want to call it, of this piston is water. So if it goes off to the side, it'll be all right because it'll just hit the water. Whereas the very first one, if it goes off to the side, it'll fall on a block, and that's not good. There's water source block right there, and that will travel all the way there. The water stops right before the piston right here, so it stops right there. This water trough is just 1 deep, so it's basically one block below the block that these sugarcane are sitting on. So right here, we have another water source block. So you just put a little U shape here, water source block. This piston will keep this water from flowing. When this one's retracted down, because if you didn't do that, the water would flow back here. And also, if you didn't put this block right there, it would also flow back. And you don't want it to flow back, you want it to flow forward. So this goes right here. You'll notice, the water's not always on. So this right here is 6 long. And then I drop down again and start another water source block, and then the whole pattern repeats again. So that is it. I think I've covered everything. I'm trying to talk fast because I need it to be under 15 minutes so I can meet YouTube's requirements. But hopefully I've covered everything. If anything's not clear, let me know. I can elaborate, or if I have to, I can re-record it. Although, in a couple days, the software I'm using to record is going to start charging me. So hopefully, if you guys need me to re-record something, you speak up sooner than later, because otherwise, I don't think I'm going to purchase said software. That's it. Like I said, you guys can extend it as long as possible. And with this setup with just 2, I'm not quite sure because I just changed it to using 7. I originally had it use just 3. But with just 3, I got, in the 6 hours that I AFK'd, my bags had like 5 stacks of sugarcane in them. So presumably with 7 instead of 3 each, that's more than double its capacity. So maybe you can expect at least probably 10 stacks in 6 hours. And if you extend it even farther, obviously you'll get even more. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, by all means, let me know. And last time I did this, because I said I'd record this twice. Last time I did it, I actually had No upvotes and only downvotes as far as the voting system. I had some positive comments, but no real negative comments beyond the music. So I'm not sure if you guys downvoted because the music was too loud and annoying, which it was, or if something else you didn't like. So by all means, if there's something you don't like, downvote it, but also comment. Let me know what you didn't like so I can maybe improve. Thank you, guys.